10. Signs someone is jealous of you. Stoic philosophy. Jealousy, it's like an invisible storm that looms over the best of times. What's ironic is how we can feel completely at ease around people who secretly wish us harm. They smile, they laugh, but underneath it all, they're rooting for our downfall. And here's the kicker. Those who are jealous rarely admit it. Instead, their negativity seeps out like a slow leak, subtly hinting at their true feelings. Let's face it, being surrounded by jealous people is like walking through a minefield. You're out here chasing dreams, achieving goals, living your best life. Meanwhile, someone else, unable to celebrate your wins, might be secretly plotting ways to bring you down. Jealousy often stems from unhealthy comparisons. People see your highlight reel and assume your life is all roses and sunshine. But it gets worse. The closer they are to you, the more access they have to your personal victories. And if they can't handle your success, their jealousy festers. Here's the thing. We've all felt envy at some point. The real test is how we handle it. Do we let it grow into bitterness, or do we recognize it and let it go? The same goes for spotting jealousy in others. It's not just a harmless feeling, it can snowball into resentment and eventually sabotage. So, buckle up, we're about to dive into the 10 telltale signs someone is jealous of you and what you can do about it. Don't skip a second. These insights might just save you from the storm. If you've ever felt that uncomfortable tension when sharing your success with certain people, drop a 7 in the comments. If you've noticed someone trying to diminish your achievements, type 8. And if you've lost friendships because of others' jealousy, leave a 9. Let's see how many of us have faced this invisible storm together. Let's get started. Sign 1. The mirror effect. They copy everything you do. Have you ever noticed someone in your life start mimicking everything you do? At first, it might seem like admiration. They praise your ideas, pay attention to how you work, and even appear eager to learn from you. But over time, it starts feeling less like flattery and more like subtle competition. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This ancient wisdom reminds us that true strength lies not in imitation, but in authenticity. Let me tell you about James, a talented interior designer. James had a colleague named Brian who frequently asked for his input on projects. James, being generous, happily shared his ideas, from design concepts to decoration plans. But one day, James noticed something unsettling. Brian wasn't just listening. He was replicating. Brian began presenting James's ideas as his own, sometimes even bringing them to clients first. At a design event, Brian showed up with a setup eerily similar to James's work. When praised for it, Brian simply smiled, never acknowledging where the inspiration came from. This kind of imitation often stems from deep-seated insecurity. Rather than discovering their own value, people like Brian focus on copying others, hoping it will grant them the sense of worth they lack. What they fail to realize, though, is that copying only makes them appear less original. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, observed, "Every man prefers belief to the exercise of judgment." In the context of copycats, this speaks to how some people would rather believe in the success of imitation than exercise the judgment needed to create something authentic. So, what should you do when faced with envious people trying to copy you? First, focus on your work. Don't let their actions discourage or distract you. Keep creating and developing your ideas with confidence. Remember what Epictetus taught us. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Your authenticity will always outshine imitation. Second, set boundaries. Not every plan or idea needs to be shared with those who don't respect your originality. Protect your creativity by being selective with what you disclose. Document your work too, so you can safeguard your originality and prove your ownership if needed. Think about it. Have you ever felt that uncomfortable tension when someone starts adopting not just your ideas, but your entire approach? The way you speak, the way you present, even the way you solve problems. Here's the crucial part. Keep evolving. True creativity is nearly impossible to copy because it's constantly in motion. When you focus on innovation and growth, copycats will always be several steps behind, recreating yesterday's version of you while you're already moving forward. But here's where Stoic wisdom offers us a unique perspective. Instead of harboring resentment, be grateful. Your imitators are inadvertently confirming your impact. As Marcus Aurelius would say, the best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. What people admire about original thinkers like James isn't just their ideas, it's the authenticity and creativity they pour into their work. No amount of copying can replicate that genuine spark of innovation. Remember, while others are busy trying to be you, you have the freedom to keep becoming a better version of yourself. Stay true to your path, protect your creative space, and keep pushing boundaries. Your uniqueness isn't just what you do, it's who you are. The next time you notice someone copying you, take it as a sign, not of threat, but of your own impact. Let it fuel your drive to innovate rather than your desire to retaliate. After all, as the Stoics teach us, true power lies not in controlling others' actions, but in mastering our own response. And speaking of responses, while some people express their jealousy through imitation, others take a more direct approach to bringing you down. Let's explore our second sign, a behavior that's harder to spot but equally important to recognize. Sign 2. The Underminer. Systematic attempts to bring you down. Jealousy is a complex and unsettling emotion. It often manifests in subtle ways, but its goal remains the same: to pull you down, damage your confidence, and diminish your value. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Yet in today's world, understanding these subtle attacks becomes crucial for protecting your peace and progress. Imagine you've just completed a major project at work, pouring your heart and soul into it. When you share your accomplishment with a colleague, instead of receiving praise or support, they respond with a comment like, "It's okay, but maybe it could have been better if you tried a different approach." A small remark, but enough to make you doubt yourself. Jealous people often undermine systematically. It's not just criticism. They find ways to hurt you from angles you wouldn't expect. Picture this. You're preparing for an important presentation, and someone you trust gives you false information about the time or location of the event. The result? You arrive late, feeling flustered, losing your usual confidence. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, observed, "The greatest power we have is the power of choice." When faced with systematic undermining, this wisdom becomes particularly relevant. Let me share a personal story. Sarah, a talented marketing executive, noticed her ideas being subtly dismissed in team meetings. At first, she thought she was being oversensitive. But then patterns emerged. Her emails were accidentally left out of important threads, her successes were downplayed in reports, and rumors about her aggressive ambition started circulating. What's particularly insidious about this form of jealousy is its calculated nature. They may also isolate you as a tactic. For example, a group of close friends plans a get-together but intentionally leaves you out. You only find out about it through social media. This action not only hurts your feelings, but makes you question your importance to them. Epictetus teaches us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle becomes your shield against such tactics. So, how do you deal with situations like this? First, reassess your inner circle. Betrayal often comes from those closest to you, the ones who know you best. Maintain a healthy distance and avoid sharing all your plans or sensitive information with them. Second, protect yourself by setting clear boundaries. Remember, you don't need to accept every negative action without a measured response. Document patterns of behavior, keep emails, save messages, note down incidents. This isn't about paranoia, it's about protecting your truth. Most importantly, stay calm and seek emotional support from people you truly trust. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Choose to surround yourself with those who color your world with support and authenticity. When someone tries to undermine you, remember this: their actions speak more about their insecurities than your worth. Your success threatens them not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something right. Forgiveness is a powerful choice, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. At the same time, turn to sources of inspiration or prayer to help you move past the anger and hurt. Remember, no matter how much they try to bring you down, your value doesn't come from their judgment or actions. It comes from knowing who you are and the good you bring to the world. Think about it. Have you ever noticed these subtle patterns of undermining in your own life? How did it make you feel? What steps did you take to protect your peace? The truth is, recognizing these patterns is your first step toward freedom from their impact. When you understand the game being played, you can choose not to participate. Moving forward, carry this truth with you. Those who try to dim your light do so because they're struggling with their own darkness. Your role isn't to fix their insecurities, but to maintain your own integrity and peace of mind. And here's the most powerful insight of all: when you remain unmoved by their attempts to undermine you, you demonstrate a strength they can't comprehend. As Epictetus said, "No man can rob us of our will." Let's transition to our next sign, which reveals an even more subtle form of jealousy, one that hides behind a mask of celebration while harboring deep resentment. Sign 3. The false celebrator. Inauthentic reactions to your success. Not everyone truly rejoices in your success. Some people wear a mask of fake happiness, hiding their envy behind forced smiles. Imagine you just got promoted at work and excitedly share the news with a friend. They smile and congratulate you, but their eyes avoid yours, and they quickly change the subject. While their words convey celebration, their body language reveals discomfort, even bitterness. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This ancient wisdom perfectly captures how we should handle those who can't genuinely celebrate our victories. Jealous individuals don't just feel uneasy about your success, they find satisfaction in your failures. If you encounter a setback, they might be the first to spread the word. They could say something like, "Finally, they didn't get everything right," as if to prove you're not perfect. Instead of offering a helping hand, they feel uplifted by your struggles, as though your misstep somehow validates their own insecurities. How can you tell if someone isn't genuinely happy for you? Their body language often gives them away. When you share good news, they might struggle to maintain eye contact, cross their arms defensively, or even roll their eyes. Their smile lacks sincerity, and they might try to downplay your achievement or quickly shift the conversation to something else, signaling that your success makes them uncomfortable. But not all signs are so obvious. This is where spiritual discernment becomes valuable. If you're deeply connected to your inner self, you may sense their unease through subtle cues, even if they try to hide it. As Seneca reminds us, the greatest power we have is the power of choice. You can choose how much access these insincere people have to your life's victories and challenges. Let me share a personal story. Sarah, a talented entrepreneur I mentored, launched her groundbreaking startup after years of preparation. When she shared her success with a longtime colleague, this person's response was telling. They smiled, said, "That's nice," and immediately started talking about someone else who had failed in a similar venture. The message was clear. They couldn't bear to let Sarah's moment shine. This raises an important question. Why do some people struggle to celebrate others' success? Often, it stems from their own unresolved insecurities and unfulfilled dreams. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So how do you handle people like this? First, set boundaries. Not everyone needs access to every detail of your victories or challenges. Be selective about who you share with, and limit how much influence insincere people have over your life. Second, don't let their jealousy impact your spirit. Stay focused on your journey and remember that your success isn't a reason for anyone to feel uncomfortable. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the people who genuinely support you make you feel energized, while those who fake their support leave you feeling drained? That's your intuition telling you something important. Lastly, practice letting go. Not everyone will understand or support you, and that's okay. What matters is that you know you're on the right path and refuse to let negativity hold you back. The truth is, not everyone will cheer you on. But that doesn't diminish the value of your success or the significance of your journey. Keep moving forward. Celebrate your wins with those who truly love and support you, and leave the insincere ones to wrestle with their envy. Life is too short to waste energy on what doesn't matter. Your achievements are valid, whether others can celebrate them or not. Remember, when you encounter these false celebrators, their reaction says more about their character than your success. Your worth isn't measured by their ability to celebrate it. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people often have the smallest circle of true supporters? That's because authentic celebration of others' success is a rare and valuable trait. As we move forward to our next sign, consider this. The way people react to your success often reveals their role in your future. Choose your circle wisely. Sign 4. The Dream Killer. Discouraging your ideas. Not everyone around you will be excited when you share a fresh and promising idea. Some people, instead of supporting you, might find subtle ways to extinguish the spark of your creativity. They may disguise their jealousy as reasonable advice, but their true intent is to make you doubt yourself and hesitate. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight speaks directly to how we should view those who try to discourage our dreams. Imagine you have a unique idea to open a cozy coffee shop in your small town. When you share this vision, a friend might say, "That sounds okay, but do you think this town has enough customers?" They might add, "Starting a coffee shop is expensive. What if it doesn't work out?" These comments aren't meant to encourage solutions. Their purpose is to plant seeds of doubt. I witnessed this firsthand with my friend Sarah, a talented software developer. She had developed an innovative app that could help elderly people manage their medications more effectively. When she shared her excitement about launching it, a colleague immediately responded, "The market is already saturated. Plus, older people don't really use apps, do they?" Sarah's enthusiasm dimmed visibly. But here's where the wisdom of Epictetus becomes relevant. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. They may also question your abilities. You might hear, "Do you really think you have enough experience to manage a business like that?" Or they might raise false concerns, saying, "I'm just worried you'll blow all your savings on this." If they genuinely cared, they wouldn't just point out challenges. They'd help you find investors, suggest ideas, or offer emotional support to help you overcome obstacles. Seneca reminds us, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." The dream killers in our lives, unknowingly, can become our greatest teachers. So what should you do when faced with discouragement like this? First, filter out the negativity. Not all advice comes from a place of goodwill. If you sense negativity, set it aside. Focus on your vision and remind yourself that your creativity is unique and valuable. Think about this. How many groundbreaking innovations would never have seen the light of day if their creators had listened to every discouraging voice? Second, trust yourself. Don't let others' words hold you back. If you've done your research and believe in your idea, move forward. Not everyone sees the potential that you do, and that's okay. You're pursuing your goals, not theirs. Third, learn to set boundaries with those who consistently sow doubt. You don't have to share every idea or plan with everyone. Reserve your thoughts for people who genuinely believe in and support you. Remember what Marcus Aurelius taught us. The opinion of one 0,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. Finally, use criticism as fuel to prove them wrong. Let your creativity and determination lead the way. You're not just pursuing something you love, you're proving that you can take control of your own life. A great idea always has the potential to transform your life, even if others can't see it. Stay confident, hold on to your faith, and don't let anyone dim your light. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people often faced the strongest opposition when they first shared their ideas? Think about that for a moment. You were made to grow, not to be held back. Keep moving forward and show the world your true worth. And remember this timeless truth from Epictetus: no great thing is created suddenly. Your dreams deserve the time and dedication to grow, regardless of what others might say. Speaking of how people try to diminish your potential, there's another subtle way jealous individuals attempt to hold you back. Let's talk about what happens when someone constantly tells you you're doing too much. Sign 5. The pace setter, making you feel like you're doing too much. Have you ever had someone say to you, "Slow down a bit, you don't need to do so much"? It might sound like genuine advice, but often it comes from jealousy. People who can't match your energy or pace often find ways to hold you back, making you feel like you need to slow down so they don't feel left behind. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These words ring especially true when dealing with those who try to dictate your pace in life. Let me tell you about Mike, a colleague I worked with. Mike was a hard worker, always going above and beyond to deliver exceptional results. But another co-worker, instead of learning from Mike's work ethic, said to him, "Mike, why are you doing so much? Relax, you don't need to work that hard." At first, Mike felt confused, even questioning if he was overdoing it. But soon he realized those comments weren't about concern, they were about the other person's insecurities and inability to keep up. As Seneca wisely observed, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. Those who try to slow you down are often living in fear of their own inadequacy, projecting their limitations onto your ambitions. Remember, no one has the right to decide your pace or path, except you. Jealousy often surfaces when you achieve things others are too afraid to attempt or simply can't do. They may not outright tell you to stop, but they'll subtly advise you to slow down and scale back your efforts. Think about it. When was the last time someone made you question your drive? Their words might have seemed caring. "You're pushing yourself too hard," or "There's no need to be so intense about everything." But beneath these seemingly concerned statements lies a deeper truth. They are uncomfortable with your progress because it highlights their own stagnation. Epictetus teaches us, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. This ancient wisdom perfectly captures how we should approach these situations. Your pace isn't determined by others' comfort levels, it's set by your own vision and goals. Here's what you need to understand. When someone consistently tries to make you feel like you're doing too much, they're actually revealing their own limitations. It's not about your excess, it's about their lack of ambition. So, how do you handle this situation with Stoic wisdom? First, recognize these comments for what they are, reflections of others' insecurities, not valid assessments of your efforts. When someone says, "You're doing too much," pause and ask yourself, is this feedback coming from a place of genuine concern, or is it stemming from their own limitations? Second, maintain your course with quiet confidence. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Your actions and results will speak louder than their doubts. Third, practice compassion. Yes, compassion, for those who try to slow you down. Understanding that their behavior comes from their own fears and limitations can help you maintain your peace while staying true to your path. But here's the critical part. Don't let their words seep into your consciousness. Don't internalize their limitations. Their perception of too much is based on their comfort zone, not your potential. The Stoic approach isn't about ignoring these comments entirely. It's about understanding them in their proper context. Use their resistance as confirmation that you're pushing boundaries and growing beyond conventional limits. Remember, every time someone tells you to slow down, they're inadvertently confirming that you're moving forward. Every suggestion to take it easy is evidence that you're pushing beyond mediocrity. As we navigate through life's challenges, the voices trying to slow us down can either become our anchors or our propellers. The choice, as the Stoics teach us, lies in how we perceive and respond to these challenges. So the next time someone tries to make you feel like you're doing too much, pause and ask yourself, what are my goals? What gives my life meaning? Don't let their negativity cloud the path you're carving out for yourself. Keep moving forward with strength and confidence, because your success is the best response to their jealousy. After all, as Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. And speaking of challenges, there's another subtle way jealous people try to undermine your success, through the advice they give. Let's explore how to spot and handle this deceptive tactic. Sign 6. The Toxic Guide. Offering harmful advice in disguise. Not everyone who offers advice genuinely wants to see you succeed. Envious individuals often disguise harmful suggestions as helpful guidance, steering you away from your goals or creating obstacles in your path. These people craft their advice to seem well-meaning, but their real intent is to derail your progress and keep you from reaching your full potential. As the great Stoic philosopher Seneca once warned, many who seem to be giving advice are really pushing us down. It is the characteristic of true wisdom to discern between genuine counsel and hidden malice. Take the story of Sarah, an ambitious entrepreneur with a groundbreaking startup idea. When Sarah shared her business plan with a colleague she trusted, this person suggested she pivot her entire strategy, claiming, "This is how successful companies approach customers." But instead of helping, the advice led Sarah down an unproductive path, wasting valuable time and resources. Why? The colleague wasn't genuinely interested in Sarah's success. They were intimidated by her progress and hoped she'd stumble. People like this often justify their suggestions with seemingly reasonable phrases. "This is what everyone does," or "It's the quickest way to achieve your goals." But beware. Such advice is usually a trap designed to compromise your principles or push you into decisions that could harm your reputation or future. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When faced with toxic guidance, the Stoic response isn't to become bitter or suspicious of all advice, but to develop stronger discernment. Here's what you need to understand about toxic advisors. They rarely come at you with obviously bad advice. Instead, they use subtle tactics. They'll suggest safer alternatives that actually limit your growth. They'll point out potential problems without offering solutions. They'll share stories of others' failures to plant seeds of doubt. Have you noticed how their advice always seems to make you think smaller, move slower, or question your capabilities? Epictetus offers wisdom here. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. When dealing with toxic advice, the key isn't to argue or defend yourself. Instead, take these practical steps. First, stand firm in your values and beliefs. No success is worth compromising your integrity or self-respect. Before acting on advice, pause and ask yourself, does this align with my principles? Second, seek counsel from trusted individuals with experience and maturity. Mentors or close friends can provide valuable perspective and help you evaluate advice objectively. Remember, quality guidance empowers you to make better decisions, not to doubt yourself. Third, learn to filter information. Not all advice is worth taking, and you have every right to dismiss anything that doesn't serve your purpose. Trust your instincts. If something feels off about the advice, it probably is. Let me share something personal. Early in my career, a senior colleague advised me to play it safe, and avoid taking on challenging projects. They said I wasn't ready, but something felt wrong about their concerned tone. Later, I discovered they had been positioning themselves for the same opportunities they warned me against. This brings us to a crucial point. Toxic advisors often mask their jealousy with concern. They'll say things like, "I'm just looking out for you," or "I don't want to see you get hurt." But ask yourself, does their advice make you feel stronger or weaker, more confident or more doubtful? As we navigate these waters, remember what Seneca taught. The road to wisdom lies in being able to doubt. Question advice that limits rather than expands your potential. Analyze suggestions that make you doubt your capabilities rather than enhance them. Here's your practical framework for handling toxic advice. Evaluate the source. What's their track record? Do they practice what they preach? Assess the impact. Does this advice empower or diminish you? Trust your gut. Your intuition often recognizes danger before your mind can explain it. Seek verification. Cross-X-ray microscope. Important advice with trusted mentors. Remember, true wisdom isn't just about knowing what advice to take. It's about knowing what advice to reject. The next time someone offers you guidance that feels off, pause and reflect. Are they lifting you up or subtly pulling you down? The truth is, those who genuinely want you to succeed will offer advice that challenges you to grow, not shrink. They'll push you to expand your horizons, not limit them. And most importantly, they'll respect your judgment when you choose a different path. Let's move on to our next sign, which reveals another subtle way jealous people try to diminish your light. Sign 7. The perpetual comparer. Always mentioning better people. Have you ever noticed someone in your life who can't seem to celebrate your success without mentioning how much better someone else is doing? They're always ready with a comparison, always eager to remind you that there's someone out there achieving more, and somehow they manage to make your victories feel smaller, less significant, with just a few carefully chosen words.
As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, how much time and effort is saved by not looking at what our neighbor says, does, or thinks? Yet, in today's interconnected world, we find ourselves increasingly surrounded by those who measure worth through endless comparisons. Let me tell you about Linda, a successful entrepreneur who recently launched her own consulting firm. After months of dedication, she finally landed her first major client, a milestone worth celebrating. When she shared this news with a colleague, instead of congratulations, she heard, "That's nice, but have you seen what Sarah's been doing? Her firm's already working with Fortune 500 companies." This wasn't just a casual observation. It was a deliberate attempt to diminish Linda's achievement, to make her question her own success. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind." This profound truth reveals something crucial about perpetual comparers. Their behavior reflects their own inner turmoil, not your worth. But why do people do this? The psychology runs deeper than simple jealousy. Those who constantly compare often struggle with their own sense of inadequacy. By highlighting others' achievements, they attempt to control the narrative of success, defining it in terms that diminish your accomplishments while masking their own insecurities. Think about it. Have you noticed how these comparisons often come at moments when you're feeling most proud? When you're sharing good news? That's not coincidental. As Epictetus taught us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This wisdom directly addresses how we should handle such comparisons. The key isn't to defend your achievements or engage in the comparison game. It's to remain steadfast in your own journey. Here's the practical approach to handling perpetual comparers. First, recognize the pattern. When someone consistently responds to your achievements with comparisons, they're showing you something about themselves, not you. Understanding this helps maintain your emotional equilibrium. Second, set clear boundaries. You might say, "I appreciate different perspectives, but I'm focused on my own progress right now." This assertive yet respectful response helps maintain your peace of mind while sending a clear message. Third, curate your sharing circle. Not everyone deserves front row seats to your success story. Be selective about who you share your achievements with. Choose people who can genuinely celebrate with you. But here's what's crucial. Don't let their comparisons stop you from acknowledging your own progress. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In this case, that means celebrating others' successes genuinely while staying true to your own path. Ask yourself, how often do you feel the need to validate your success against others' achievements? The answer might reveal whether you've internalized some of these comparative tendencies yourself. The truth is, success isn't a zero-sum game. Someone else's achievement doesn't diminish yours. Your journey is uniquely yours, with its own challenges, victories, and lessons. When you encounter perpetual comparers, remember their words tell you more about their mindset than your worth. Your success story doesn't need validation through comparison. It stands on its own merit, shaped by your efforts, determination, and resilience. Let your response to comparison be growth, not doubt. Let your answer to diminishment be achievement, not argument. And most importantly, let your path be guided by your own values, not others' measuring sticks. The next time someone tries to compare your journey to another's, smile knowingly. They've just shown you their limitations, not yours. Keep building, keep growing, keep succeeding on your own terms. Remember, the only comparison that truly matters is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. Everything else is just noise in the storm of success. Sign 8. The defensive reactor. Taking your support as insults. Some people constantly misunderstand your good intentions, especially when you offer genuine advice. Instead of recognizing your support, they take it as a personal insult. My friend Sarah once told me about her attempt to help a coworker, Mark, by suggesting a clearer way to present his report. She thought she was being supportive, but Mark's reaction shocked her. He snapped, "Do you think you're better than me?" Sarah was stunned. Her only goal was to help. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the opinion of 1,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. This profound insight speaks directly to our modern workplace dynamics, where defensive reactions often mask deeper insecurities. Have you ever wondered why some people react so strongly to well-intentioned advice? The answer lies in understanding their internal battlefield. When someone consistently interprets your support as criticism, it reveals more about their relationship with themselves than with you. Let me share another story that illustrates this perfectly. During my years consulting for Fortune 500 companies, I encountered a talented executive named Michael. Despite his impressive achievements, he would bristle at any suggestion for improvement, no matter how constructively presented. One day, after a particularly tense meeting where he'd rejected valuable input from his team, I asked him privately what he heard when people offered advice. His answer was revealing. "I hear them saying I'm not good enough." This brings to mind Epictetus' teaching. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The defensive reactor isn't really responding to your words. They're fighting their own inner demons. Think about it. Have you noticed how some colleagues can take even the most carefully worded suggestion as an attack? There's a reason for this pattern. Seneca provides insight here. All cruelty springs from weakness. When someone consistently misinterprets your support as criticism, they're actually revealing their own vulnerability. Their defensive reaction is a shield, protecting them from their deepest fears about their own competence or worth. So how do you handle such situations effectively? First, understand that their reaction isn't truly about you. When someone responds defensively to your well-intentioned advice, they're often projecting their own insecurities onto your words. Here's a practical approach I've developed through years of handling similar situations. 1. Begin with acknowledgement of their existing efforts before offering any suggestions. 2, frame advice as shared exploration rather than direct guidance. 3, use we language instead of you statements. 4, give them ownership of the solution by asking questions rather than making statements. But here's what most people get wrong. They either become overly cautious and stop offering input altogether, or they push harder, trying to force their perspective. Both approaches typically backfire. Instead, consider this insight from Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. When faced with defensive reactions, maintain your composure and respond with understanding rather than frustration. Remember that time Sarah handled Mark's outburst? Instead of becoming defensive herself, she calmly said, "I value your work, Mark. I just thought we could explore some different approaches together." This simple shift in language helped diffuse the situation and eventually led to a more collaborative relationship. But let's be honest, not every situation can be salvaged. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, someone will continue to react defensively to any input you offer. This is where another Stoic principle becomes crucial: knowing what's within your control and what isn't. You can control how you present your suggestions, your reaction to their defensiveness, the boundaries you set for these interactions. You cannot control their internal insecurities, their interpretation of your words, their willingness to change. The key is finding the balance between offering support and protecting your own peace of mind. Ask yourself, is this relationship worth the emotional investment required to navigate their defensiveness? As we wrap up this sign, remember, someone's defensive reaction to your support often says more about their journey than your approach. Your role isn't to fix their insecurities, but to maintain your integrity while offering support where appropriate. And here's the most important lesson I've learned. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do, both for yourself and for them, is to step back and let them find their own path. Looking ahead to our next sign, we'll explore another subtle but powerful indicator of jealousy: how some people try to diminish your achievements by attributing them to luck rather than effort. But before we move on, I'm curious, have you ever had someone react defensively to your well-intentioned advice? How did you handle it? Sign 9, the fortune blamer, attributing your success to luck. Have you ever felt the sting of someone dismissing all your efforts by chalking up your success to sheer luck? It's a telltale sign of jealousy when someone diminishes your achievements, implying they're merely a result of good fortune. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the worth of a man is measured by the things he pursues. Yet jealous individuals often try to measure your worth through the lens of their own insecurities.
I remember my friend James, who spent months preparing for the bar exam. He stayed up late, studied tirelessly, and prayed for a positive outcome. When he passed, instead of receiving genuine congratulations, an acquaintance remarked, "Oh, you probably just got lucky with the test questions." A seemingly harmless comment, yet it dismissed all the hard work James had invested.
You see, jealous individuals often have a way of undermining your efforts, choosing to focus on superficial factors rather than the dedication behind your accomplishments. They fail to recognize the sleepless nights, relentless focus, and persistence that brought you to where you are. As Seneca wisely observed, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This truth reveals the shallow nature of those who attribute others' success purely to chance. This behavior can even extend to discrediting your faith or personal beliefs. My friend Emily once shared how she experienced a miraculous healing after years of battling a chronic illness and fervently praying. Instead of celebrating her recovery, someone remarked, "It's probably just the medication working." While the comment may have sounded reasonable, it stripped away the deeper meaning and faith-driven gratitude that Emily held dear. Such situations are not only hurtful, but can also lead you to question your own achievements and beliefs. That's why responding to these remarks requires strength and self-assurance. Epictetus teaches us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This ancient wisdom provides a framework for handling those who try to diminish your accomplishments. First, celebrate your success unapologetically. Don't let anyone dim the light of your hard-earned accomplishments. When someone attributes your achievements to luck, reaffirm the truth. You might say, I worked hard for this, and I'm proud of my efforts. If someone downplays your spiritual experiences, stand firm in your faith. You can respond, I truly believe this was a miracle from God, and I'm deeply grateful for His grace. This confidence not only preserves your self-worth, but also inspires others to embrace and defend their own beliefs. Think about it. When was the last time someone tried to attribute your success to luck? How did it make you feel? Did you stand your ground, or did you let their words plant seeds of doubt? Here's a powerful truth. Your achievements aren't random occurrences. They're the culmination of your dedication, perseverance, and unwavering belief in yourself. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, what stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle you've overcome, every challenge you've faced, these are the building blocks of your success. Finally, own your narrative with pride. Share your story of hard work, faith, or any extraordinary experiences with boldness. By doing so, you reinforce the truth of your journey and remind yourself and others that success comes from genuine effort, unwavering belief, and sometimes a touch of grace. Never forget that your achievements are valid and worth celebrating no matter what others might say. The next time someone tries to chalk up your success to luck, remember, behind every lucky break lies countless hours of preparation, determination, and resilience. The truth is, luck might open a door, but it's your character, preparation, and perseverance that enable you to walk through it and succeed on the other side. But perhaps the most telling sign of jealousy isn't in what people say about your success, it's in what they don't say at all. Let's explore this final sign of jealousy, where silence speaks louder than words. Sign 10, the silent observer, avoiding celebration of your achievements. Have you ever noticed that when you achieve something significant, instead of receiving genuine congratulations, you're met with silence or lukewarm responses? This is a clear sign of jealousy. When someone can't bring themselves to celebrate your success, it speaks volumes about their inner turmoil. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." These words carry profound wisdom when dealing with those who can't acknowledge your achievements. Let me tell you about my friend Laura. She recently completed her master's degree while working full-time, a journey that demanded countless late nights, unwavering dedication, and remarkable resilience. When she shared her success with an acquaintance, the only response she got was, "Oh, that program must not be too hard." A seemingly harmless comment, but it completely dismissed years of her hard work. Seneca tells us, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This truth becomes particularly powerful when facing those who try to diminish your achievements through their silence or dismissive remarks. You see, jealous people often try to downplay or avoid acknowledging your achievements because they don't want to feel smaller in comparison. Instead of congratulating you, they might say things like, "Anyone could do that," or "Looks like you got lucky this time." Some may even ignore your accomplishments entirely, leaving you wondering if your efforts were worth celebrating at all. But here's what Epictetus teaches us. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle becomes our guide in handling such situations. So, what should you do when faced with the silent observer? First, understand that their silence speaks more about their insecurities than your worth. Think about it. How often have you witnessed someone truly confident and content withholding praise from others? Their inability to celebrate you is merely a reflection of their internal struggles. Seneca reminds us, the greatest power we have is the power of choice. You can choose how much weight to give their silence. Your achievements deserve to be celebrated, even if you're the only one clapping for yourself. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've overcome, the obstacles you've conquered. That journey is yours, and its value doesn't depend on anyone else's acknowledgement. Consider this: would you rather have false praise from those who secretly resent your success, or would you prefer to know where you stand? Their silence, though painful, is actually a gift. It shows you clearly who belongs in your inner circle and who should remain at a distance. Oof. But remember what Marcus Aurelius taught us. Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. This means maintaining your grace even when others can't celebrate you. You don't need to confront them or create conflict. Simply adjust your expectations and redirect your energy toward those who genuinely support your growth. Think of your life as a garden. Would you keep plants in spaces where they can't grow? The same applies to relationships. Surround yourself with people who act as your sunshine, not those who cast shadows on your achievements. Ask yourself, how many times have you dimmed your light to make others comfortable? How often have you downplayed your success to avoid others' silence? Perhaps it's time to let your light shine fully, regardless of who might shy away from its brightness. Remember, true friends will always be your greatest cheerleaders. They'll celebrate your wins as if they were their own. These are the relationships worth nurturing, the connections that deserve your energy and trust. As Epictetus wisely noted, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Live with the unwavering belief that you deserve all the good things you've achieved and those yet to come. No matter how much jealous people try to dim your light through their silence, remember that your brilliance doesn't come from their recognition. It comes from your own hard work and inner strength. Keep shining because this life is yours to conquer and enjoy. Your success isn't diminished by someone else's inability to celebrate it. If anything, it's highlighted by their silence. After all, isn't it interesting how the same achievement can inspire some to cheer while causing others to retreat into silence? What does that tell you about the power of your success?
Remember this. Your achievements aren't waiting for anyone's approval to be valuable. They already are. Keep climbing, keep achieving, and most importantly, keep celebrating yourself because you've earned it.
And here's a final thought from Marcus Aurelius that perfectly captures our message. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Choose to color yours with self-celebration, gratitude, and unwavering confidence in your journey. Have you ever experienced this kind of silence from others after achieving something significant? How did you handle it? Share your story below. Let's create a community of people who lift each other up, even when others won't. Conclusion. So now you know the signs to spot when someone is jealous of you. Remember, their jealousy isn't your problem, it's theirs. Your success is your light. And sometimes that light shines too brightly for people who are used to living in the shadows.
As Marcus Aurelius wisely taught us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Don't let their negativity dim your brilliance. Instead, be grateful, because their jealousy is proof that you're doing something worth noticing.
Think of yourself as a lighthouse. Your purpose isn't to lower your beam when ships feel intimidated by your brightness. Your purpose is to keep shining, guiding others who are inspired by your light. Keep living your life with confidence and determination. Set boundaries and focus your energy on relationships that uplift and inspire you. Remember, applying these Stoic principles isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about maintaining your integrity and peace of mind while continuing to grow. As Seneca said, the greatest power we have is the power of choice. Choose to rise above jealousy, choose to maintain your course, and choose to let your achievements speak for themselves. Before you go, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Have you encountered someone showing these signs? How did you handle it? Type, Rise above in the comments if you're committed to maintaining your path regardless of others' jealousy. Let's build a community of modern Stoics who support each other's growth and success. If you found value in these insights, hit that like button to help spread this message even further. Don't forget to subscribe and join our community of modern Stoics living with purpose and wisdom. Ring that notification bell to stay updated with more content on applying ancient wisdom to modern challenges. Remember, you can't control someone else's jealousy, but you can control how you respond. And that, my friends, is true power. Until next time, keep shining your light brightly. Thank you for joining me on this journey of growth and wisdom. Stay strong, stay wise, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.